There's an event coming up at the Reggie Lewis Center that's part of a week-long celebration in Boston for innovators. And to tell us are two guests from the FAB Lab network, the director of the FAB Foundation, Sherry Lassiter, and Jemuel Stephenson, a young entrepreneur and teacher of all things FAB. Thank you both very much for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
I want to start with the bigger picture here. Sherry Lassiter, talk about the lab, what it does, and how it all fits together.
So FAB Lab is a fabrication laboratory. It's a digital fabrication facility. So you do digital design and use digital manufacturing tools to make almost anything you can imagine. So that could be a keychain or a solar house or a communication device. So and anything in between. And so they are platforms for innovation and for education. And we put one in. This started at MIT at the Center for Bits and Atoms at MIT back in 2001. And we put one at the South End Technology Center here in Boston with Mel King, and just to see what would happen if you put this in a community, if you put all these tools and this knowledge in the hands of anyone. What would they do with that? What would they make? And this is how we,
in walks Jemuel Stephenson here. So when you went in there, what happened?
Oh, wow. So I went in there about 2005 with my family. I forget exactly how we were introduced to it, but it was like a sort of a life-changing experience to be able to touch your thoughts. I've always been a thinker and like a tinkerer ever since I was little, but to be in a place where those things can be physical reality and fast was crazy. It was like magic, but it was like I was learning magic. It was ridiculous, and it was amazing. Did a whole lot of different projects, actually. One of the things I did early on when I was 12, and I imagine the kind of potential that this has. When I was 12, I actually designed a table that was showcased in the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago, Illinois, back in 2007. Yep, and it was it's crazy. And as I go on, more things are become available to me and to people who are actually involved in these things, and it's open to the public, and there are communities that can develop these labs, and it's crazy.
Talking about something interesting, because as you said, one of the exciting things here is that you start with something that seems abstract, and yet you get something that's really concrete, that comes out right away.
So think of it as a printer or as a library. In the library, you can take your thoughts. You have the things you think about, whatever words you have that you want to design. And you take them, you type them on the computer, and you send them to your printer. The printer prints that thing. You have a book, you have an essay, you have whatever you have. Now think of that in a more concrete sense, where you have basically these libraries of the future, Fab Labs, where you can think, I want to make, let's say, this table. I can go and I can put that on the computer in softwares and things like that, and then I can print it to my machines, and that's exactly what they do. And you can practically make whatever you want.
Yeah. It's sort of, as in other students, it's inspired Jemuel to go into engineering, which is exactly what we love to see. And beyond that, he's an entrepreneur now. Has his own company or two, and we see that a lot in the Fab Lab network. It's an inspiring catalytic platform for learning things like science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Sherry, speaking of catalysts, tell me a bit about this event, because I'm trying to picture somebody bringing in another 12-year-old.
Oh, so Fab 11 is a whole week of celebrating Fab Labs, of digital fabrication, of making and creativity and innovation. And as part of that, the very end of that week is a Fab Festival at the Reggie Lewis Center on August 8th and 9th. And it's a family-friendly making environment. So we'll have all sorts of hands-on activities. There'll be talks, there'll be panels, there'll be dancers, there'll be all sorts of exhibits. And what we're trying to do is bring in the community to get them excited about innovation and about making. And actually, Jemuel is going to be teaching some of the workshops there, which is great.
Yeah. Jemuel, what are you going to be teaching exactly?
What I specialize in, I would say, 3D to 2D to 3D design. I basically teach people how to take everyday objects or even more complex objects and reproduce them using laser cutters, routers, and 3D printers. So that's what I'll be doing. A lot of the stuff I do is I teach them how to use free software so anybody can do it. You don't have to worry about paying thousands and thousands of dollars to get super expensive software to do things that you need to do. and it really reduces the cost of prototyping and of being able to actually innovate properly.
Sure. How important would it be for somebody, let's say parent with kids in the Boston schools, to go to an event like this? Because you might have a child who doesn't really almost know where to begin with this. How would this help them?
I think it would help them because it's very accessible. What we're doing is not trying to show off the high tech necessarily. What we're trying to do is pull young people in and get them excited about making. And you do it through making, sort of fun, creative things that they can identify with, like a T-shirt or like a keychain or something like that. But through that, they learn the design and they learn the digital fabrication and the sort of high technology. And it's sort of like sneaking in this sort of learning and getting people excited about it without sort of intimidating them by saying, oh, you're learning STEM.
Right. Jemuel, when you're teaching, you must be encountering maybe younger versions of yourself. You ever had that feeling?
Younger and older versions of myself,
actually. And older too. Yeah, I know. So you're so far ahead on the curve here. Yeah. I wonder.
Yeah. I mean, right now, yes, you encounter people of all ages that are just really thrilled. I mean, I'm actually right now I'm teaching a class in Upham's Corner. It's an adult class. I'm teaching it. Basically the exact same stuff I'm talking about here, and we're using 3D printing and laser cutting and things like that. And I have encountered a lot of different, people that are just like, where has this been all my life? And then you see them stand there, you can watch ideas come to them because now they have the ability to actually envision it, because they've actually been given sort of permission to think about this because now they know that this is a possibility. And it's crazy. You can watch innovation happen.
Yeah, okay. We should mention finally, Sherry, is there anything you can say about the exact time and place again and where people can get some more details?
Certainly. If you visit our website, FABFestBoston.org, you can find out more detail about the day schedule. We're open Saturday, August 8th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Sunday, August 9th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And it's free to the public, so we would love to see everybody come down and have some fun with us.
All right. Thank you very much. And Jeff, one more thing, Jemuel, if people want to check out your classes, any way they can find out something?
Right now, I think what you can do is you can go to FAB Labs for America has a Facebook page, so if you go and type in FAB Labs for America on Facebook or search it in Google, you can find the Facebook page, and there's more information. There's some contact information for that also.
Right, thank you both very much, Jemuel and Sherry. We'll have more news in just a moment.